Good evening, dynamic stars. I wanted to come to you with a quick video about the Egyptian deities. So, long story short, I communicated with someone on social media today, and guess what? Maybe not everybody knows who Sebek, Ma'ad, Tahuti, who they are. So, I wanted to give you some insight into that. Just to give you a quick background, I was part of a society for about 12 years that focused only on the Khamitic Orisha deities. So my life was steeped in all things Khamitic for quite some time. And you may or may not have ever heard of the Meduniter, Volume 1 by Raul Neferonen, the great oracle of Tahuti and the Egyptian system of spiritual cultivation. So I wanted to first start off with the deity Sebek. So Sebek is the deity that handles all things regarding words, communication, and I guess interpersonal relations. I was about to shuffle the cards as if I'm going to do a reading. I just want to show you a picture. Okay, that is Sebek. In this particular system, hopefully you can see that. I'll leave it there for a second for it to focus. In this particular system, when you see Sebek in red and black, that is its negative connotation. Not all systems use red and black as negative. Some systems use it as a positive, but in this one, it is considered negative. In his positive aspects, you'll see he's yellow and black. Can you see that? So, some of the characteristics. Let me give you an example. That's probably the better thing to do, or rather a story. I guess in the Nigerian traditions, or just the Yoruba traditions, there's a story where Sebek was walking down the road, and there were farmers, one on each side of the road. And one said Sebek was in red, the other said he was in black. And they took this to court. And the judge was like, both of you are saying things and you're both very adamant. Let's get Sebek in here. I mean, in this version of the story, he's called a Legwa, which is the Yoruba version, because there are some Orishas and deities that do cross over. So Sebek, a Legwa, walks into the court. And guess what he's wearing? You guessed it. A suit. One side is red, one side is black. So they were both right. So really and truly, that lets you know that when it comes to Sebek, sometimes the truth is not exactly what you think it is. And you have to really be very mindful and parse out the truth. So let's say you get a Sebek Temchayas Hedaru to Ma'at reading, okay? In that case, Sebek is the subject, so now you're going to look at, okay, let's look at the veracity of what people are saying. Let's look at the claims. Let's go and check the information, because with a Sebek Tem, you're going to think there's lying, there's trickery, there's cheating, there's con, there's something going on, okay? And with that Hedaru behind it, Hedaru is like Oshun, social, warm, caring, life of the party kind of a thing. So with that, you're going, so maybe this person is putting on a show on social media because they want people to think their life or just they are a different way than they really are. You know, that is a very fair assessment with a Sebek Tem Hedaru to Ma'at reading. Another way or another permutation of a Sebek reading is if it's at a job and you get a Sebek Tem, say Hedakubuti Tem, and this is on how your boss functioned with you. Sebek Tem, baseless accusations. It's sort of like the other way, because with that Hedakubuti Tem behind it, there's force, there's authority, there's power, wrongfully used, because both in its tem state, that means something's going on. So maybe they're trying to actually hide the truth. Because if this is on not even just your boss, but a superior's or anybody else, even a peer's behavior, Sebek tem, Hedakuhuti tem, you know, they are trying to convince people of something that really isn't true. And now you have to go and, I guess, prove your case. But now you're going to have to get documents. Whenever you get a Sebek, you have to work on the facts. You have to work on the documents. You have to get all the precise details. You have to get, as much as possible, eyewitnesses. You need that type of thing. Sebek is very, very 3D. Sebek is the lawyers of the world. Sebek are really intelligent, smart, sharp people. They are journalists. They are researchers. You could even say in some cases, well, most cases, Sebek is also archaeologists. But archaeologists are at a higher level because they're also doing larger scale work in uncovering history, so on and so forth. So they can also be part of Ma'at. But because they're doing the digging, they're working through very carefully, unearthing and going through very strict procedures and protocols. That's very, very Sebek work. Sebek is a technician. Sebek is definitely the internet. I mean, he has a field day. That is his baby. All kinds of stuff is on the internet. So whenever you get a Sebek reading, or when Sebek is on the table, open, positive, closed, negative, you're talking about people, perception, the world, something that's going on, news that may affect you, or the perception that it will affect you, because that's Sebek also. It is your perceptions, because people act on their perceptions, don't they? So that is why that scenario where we talked about the boss, Sebek tem, Nekabet tem, Hedakuhuti tem, that was, you know, spinning of a fantasy, spinning of negativity. But if somebody acted on it and you had a negative consequence, it's still Sebek, it's still his realm. And that is why the evidence, courts, that is Sebek's field playhouse. I mean, as you can see, Sebek kind of has a large area or a large arena in our 3D world. And it's best to stay on the positive side of Sebek. So just read you a couple of things in here. Probably would have been a good idea for me to bookmark it, right? But I didn't do that. Sebek. In the Khamitic tradition, he's called Apuat and Anpu, Canaanite, Raphael, Kabbalistic, Hod, Yoruba, Elegua, Eshu, and in the Shkush, it is Matanji. His sphere is the 8th sphere, his planet is Mercury, his day is Wednesday. Colors in this system, saffron and white and yellow, that's saffron color, yellow, red and black, the negative colors as I mentioned. His number, 3. His gem is emerald. Time of the year, sidereal full moon in Gemini and Virgo. Herbs, abre camino, which is open road, opening your path. Arrasa cantoro, get rid of everything, clean out stuff. Oregano, lavender, larkspur. Oils also, lavender, lily of the valley. Incense, lavender, lily of the valley. Okay? And his spiritual direction is northeast. His mundane direction is south. So if you wanted to do some meditations on a Wednesday, you can face northeast and meditate to Sebek. All right? And just some emotional traits: sharp and witty, fond of travel, critical in a positive way, able to separate issues based on externals, loquacious, diplomatic, cold and pedantic, syllogistic, logical minded, highly dependent on information, communicative, negatively critical, loquacious, again, busybody, opinionated, inconstant in belief, pretending to know, yet ignorant, mischief maker, gossiper, scheming, cunning, argumentative, proud, sly, lying, selfish. Okay, so mental traits: segregative thinking, labeling, defining, the verbal clothing of what is known, felt, and perceived, syllogistic logic, imitation. Some of his careers: intellectuals, scholars, academicians, students, teachers, ambassadors, astrologers, mathematicians, clerks, technicians, relatively inexperienced lawyers, preachers, teachers, traders, young men, office workers, printers, schemers, schemes, financial, etc. Thieves, journalists, good speakers, diplomats, politicians, and specialists. Okay? So that is my little take there for you on Sebek. If you have any questions, please do leave me a comment. Let me know what you think and what your experiences with Sebek have been. Okay? Thanks so much for joining me today. I guess next up we'll do Heteru. All right? See ya.